So on the trailer, we've got the trailer valve right here. There are 2 pins. Come on over here. 1 pin here. We'll release this to go up this way. We're going to put this pin in here, like such. And the pin that everyone forgets is this one here. So we got to take that pin out too, and we just set this to the side here. So I will let it go up and down, and so we're good there. All right, so we never do the trailer valet by itself. That has to have the support of this in case it falls. But we always have the chuck back there, because once this is off the trailer, this is a pretty steep hill. Doesn't look like it, but you are going to be rolling downhill pretty fast. So as far as the trailer goes, we want to make sure that this is down in case this fails, but this takes it off the truck. And then when you lift this up, it just goes a little higher than this at all times so that we have support, right? So I always have a chuck back there behind the wheel so it stops this thing. We set up this platform is the biggest thing we have you guys here for. There's a lot of labor. There's a lot of ratcheting, a lot of pipes going in. We're called the 5284 Club. Okay. Because 5280 is what? A mile high. And we're 4 feet higher than that. So we're 5280. So we put a whole bunch of support structure, and I call them pipes. Whatever you guys want to call them, support. We stick those all in, and it's just like a sales spreadsheet. Row 1, 2, 3, columns A, B, and C. Columns A on both sides, but we could extend infinitum on both sides of this truck. We only put one column on that side, and 3 columns on this side for the Broncos game. Columns A store on the truck, so we store columns B and C in the trailer. We install rows 1 first all the time, pull everything to the front of the truck, and then we pull it to the truck. But everything's done with ratchets. Okay. Lots of ratcheting, that's why we need people, okay? All right, when we first pull up here, this driver, you gotta remember, you're always gonna have to chuck behind this thing anytime we're gonna have it disconnected. So we put the chuck in, keep following me around. All right. So on the trailer, we've got the trailer valve right here. There are 2 pins. Come on over here. 1 pin here. We'll release this to go up this way. We're going to put this pin in here, like such. And the pin that everyone forgets. Yeah, get in there. I hate these things because they break my fingers. All right, and the other pin that everyone forgets is the one that lets it go up and down. Which is this one here. So we got to take that pin out too, and we just set this to the side here. So I will let it go up and down, and so we're good there. All right, so we never do the trailer valet by itself. That has to have the support of this in case it falls. But we always have the chuck back there, because once this is off the trailer, this is a pretty steep hill. Doesn't look like it, but you are going to be rolling downhill pretty fast. So as far as the trailer goes, we want to make sure that this is down in case this fails, but this takes it off the truck. And then when you lift this up, it just goes a little higher than this at all times so that we have support. Okay, you can start filming there. Pull this down. Now this thing's really cool, especially with people helping you. I have maneuvered this in this parking lot 1,000,000 times by myself, but with people pushing on the back makes it even easier. So this is engaged once you're taller than this stand here, right? It has brakes on whenever this isn't pulled up. Okay. When this is pulled up, the wheels will work. When this is down.
Down is brakes, up is.
Yeah, down is it won't roll, right? Okay. But it's still pretty steep hill. But we can't roll right now because that's in the way. The concept is we're currently rolling this because we're in his way to remaneuver this truck. Okay. We're going to normally park this on these bathrooms right here. Okay. However, we have a van plate today. If lucky, we don't have a van except for game 1. Okay. We can maneuver it up and down, especially with people pushing it. However, all you're doing here is taking the brake off, and you just crank away, and it will move quite easily on this terrain. So currently, we're going to get out of this way. Never lean. Who did this? Was that you? Might have been me. Never lean anything. We have front rails, we have back rails, and we have the side bar. This not only has a very cool bar you guys can call it, but it's a side bar. The middle rail back on the back bar is no rail. We have a handicap ramp. That's how people get on and off this thing. Let's see how easy it is to move this thing. I'm moving it by myself. This brake fail.
And Jake.
All right, there's two sides to this thing, but this side is the pain in the butt. This side over here was designed to stick these little pipes in underneath while the signs are still here, but it doesn't really matter. You just take these signs off. They are held on, and this is where I'm going to talk about the ratchets. These things here are what we need help with. These ones release when they're all the way open, right? So these types of ratchets self-retract. They're really cool. It's like these will fall off. So we do stick them in here so these can't fly off. We will use these. These are the ones that are going to pull the walkways into the truck. So we leave them on the truck. This was a new feature we added. But this is the part where it might be tough for some of the weaker people to get these because they're funded to maneuver. But they'll just pull up and out, and then they just take them over here. Once I get kickstands, this is the most labor-intensive part. We have two sides to this. The other side is much easier. Smaller pipes, lighter stuff. This side is where we need the help. Styrofoam. Take off these two little latches. And more importantly, gloves. Right now, I'll grab an old pair if there's not enough. There was a...
Whoa, I did not expect it to be that long.
But these are our jacks. These are the top of the jacks, and the bases are in that little drawer there. But we have 10 of these on this side. We won't worry about the other side just yet. Sorry, ones that have a single one are going to have 2 supports. Ones that have lots of lines only have a single one, right? I didn't film the TV, but that's not. So if you get the tips of them lined up under the truck where they're going to go, you're going to know where the jacks are going to go. Moving those jacks when you're trying to handle the pipes is impossible. But if we get them lined up, now we can get our jacks proper. Make sense? Make sense? So that goes in line.
We're going right? Where's it?
Right. Right. To everyone, under the support, and then connect it like that. That goes in, and then activate.
Oh, that's wrong.
What's wrong?
Upside down?
See that up arrow? Yeah, you got arrow with it. So we're going to be working from the farthest pole forward. So these people here are going to get this on here. You're looking at this, right? She's going to lift this to what's level. You're going to lift the jack up to it and zip that down. This is old jack. It's supposed to be replaced by one sitting on that floor. So now you're doing it. You're kind of like perfect. This is supposed to be on the jack. All right, perfect. Perfect. There you go. Now you zip it in. So you pinch that off from where it's self-retracting. Bring it in. That just pulls it into that really tight, right? You're done with your pipe. Now we switch over here. And we're just going to move on down the thing.
We always make sure these hooks go into here, into that hole, and then we can tighten it up.
I don't know if it's level.
Well, this one didn't touch it, no.
Right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and move you right now.
Sam? Hi, on this side here.
That's just off. Yeah.
So that makes it easier so you like meet it to the truck.
That's good.
Beautiful, nice job. Over.
Crank this still. Just keep going until it can't crank no more. And then these have a locking position. These ones lock, so you can't can't mess them up. But you crank them until they don't crank anymore. Go in and we start setting up stuff, and there's stuff that you can't do because people in your way, we can start switching over to the other side. One of the things is the fridges and everything don't work unless they have power. So we got to get the power going. Got the sides. These things tip super easy.
Okay.
So don't lean on those. Unfortunately, I end up putting kickstands on these, but this side is so much lower. So we actually changed the way we bring the sides. You temporarily just got to get them out of your way, right? This one, we stored this one a little slip to the side for far enough, but so we can get the generator out. Doesn't have a lock up here. So me and not me and someone else. That's the strength of old grandma. So we just get it set down. We just put it right where I kind of have that thing. So once this is down, we have our party area. We'll put this door back on. This is the choke, and that's the power. Normally, it doesn't even start with the choke on. It gets mad at you pretty quick. Put the choke back in. So it starts quite easily, then plugs in right here. And then the whole thing is power. Then you take it home. They don't like to lock anymore. But it won't go anywhere. I can't make it that secure now. You just pop it. Okay. So those stands, you still have to get the jacks out of there. They're shorter jacks, but this side was shorter. You could have been over. Alright. Got down here. There's two of them. Someone grab that over there. Just a few. We'll pull it out the back. So, just tip forward. Right? And then get over those things and keep it on the side. And then we're going to get in the corner. Always watch your fingers. Alright, get in that corner, right? Now, every single board has a ratchet on it, right? So these things go. These ones are a little different, so let me show you these ratchets. When these are pinched,
No.
you need to do this. So these ones are when they're pinched, they're loose and ready to go. I know it doesn't. Yeah, when you're pinching it, you can pull it in and out, right? However, it still will pull out. These ones are funny until you get it past that notch. Now it's locked. They're funny because the other ones, they just stop doing things when you pull it up. But this one, it does have to get past that, so it stops. Okay? Cross over one of your straps. That's bad. So we'd be pulling this tight, and we'd be pulling on one of our sports straps. So you always want to feed, as you're doing these, through your straps. So we're going to connect right out here to this cord. We always want to make sure we're not crooked, and I did the crooked. But these things, and I see this all the time, people pull in, I can't see what they're doing here. Okay, you always want to retract the strap straight, because they can start rolling up crooked, and then it jams up your strap. But if you pull too, let's say I pulled way too much out. You know, I got excited to do my job, right? So I'm like this. You don't need to ratchet all that in. Pull in the tension by doing that. Now we start ratcheting. Now these are kind of weird. Sometimes they slip. I don't know why. But my goal here, someone could push it forward towards the truck. My goal here, because we're going to go up here pretty quick. Even when we get row one on, we've labeled what they are in white and where they're stored in yellow. So as you're putting it up, you know where they go. And when you're putting them away, you know where they're stored. We store these things. Let me show you the panel over there. So this thing here shows you how we're storing stuff. So this is the setup where we have row 1, 2, and 3, column A, B, and C. When we store these things in the truck, we're storing row 1 on the outside, row 2 inside, and row 3 so that we can install them in that fashion.
Outside.
let's wait until we've got this one locked in. There we go. Pinch the slack out. Actually, pinch the back of the thing like that.
Got it. There we go.
Sometimes those slip and I don't know why. I can't figure it out. Good job. Now, are you seeing that square there on the two pedal? Perfect. Go ahead and watch your fingers. Punch your going over the place. All right. On some of these, you will. I think by for a while on this thing. We've been doing it the whole time. Our level's wrong. What's that?
Except the jacks, that's why.
The what? You want knee pads there, friend? Brand new, they're not even my sweater.
Oh, I'm okay.
Knee pads now?
I'm still young.
Everything else all right, so what I've been doing is pulling those ones that are going to pull it in, getting them kind of tight, but not ratcheting it to death, right? So then I'm able to move the whole thing, but eventually when I say, hey, this whole thing looks square, so we're going to go ahead and grab the jacks that are on the truck permanently. Those are the ones that catch these little aluminum hooks right here. So those ones loosen by opening them, and then you always want the jack bottom up, and whatever's less twisted, whatever way looks less twisted, it doesn't matter. So then you hook it, and then you this one. So you're hooking it there, and then you always got the flat part up so you can ratchet it. Right? And then you want to make sure there's less twist. The less twist you have, the better. Perfect. And we're just going to kind of make it tight so it pulls us in, but not ratchet it home so we can keep squaring it up.
Behind you.
Spot for
Behind
Jack.
I know, that's why I was like, I don't have to bend this far.
We just took them to the other ratchet.
Okay.
Pinch. Yep. This one's not hooked either. All right. You got to make sure these stay hooked. They're tethered, but they came off. So we got to make sure they're hooked before we hook it to the other one. Can you check all those other ones that are over there? Yep. Are we all wet again? We're sticking out pretty far on.
Do you think he goes that way?
Yeah.
No, he's
I'll
going
go
to
in.
the front.
Yeah.
Still sticking out.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
How do you open this?
That's all the scrap you got. It's not long enough. It can get
Yep, no, there's
yeah.
Where is this? Flip it, Sal.
all right, that's good. Good job.
And you said not too tight right now, right? Right.
Some of them don't have little joining parts, so.
Fancy $3,000. Not that much. I did have one giant one that was open from that place to mount it, but we were working on. We had to move out of my house. My wife rebuilt this thing up. And rain, put dirt. I don't think they're all the way up because I'm making it bounce pretty hard when I'm under it. We forgot to get the.